Right now I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy meat and spinach curry. It's really simple to make if you just follow the steps. They're quite basic. Don't go too crazy with the salt and add the right amount of spice and you'll be fine. So let's just dive right into the ingredients. So these are the ingredients that you're going to need. So we're going to start with the spices. You're going to need some cumin, turmeric, coriander, garam masala, paprika, garlic, ginger, onions, curry leaves, mustard seeds, salt, 2 onions, 3 potatoes, a tin of chopped spinach, and here we got some yogurt. Now for the meat, here I got beef. You can use lamb. It's originally done with lamb, but I chose to go with the beef here. So for the meat, we don't want to go too big with the pieces. You don't want it too small either. 2 by 2 centimeter cubes. That's usually the best way to go. 2 by 2. Let's just peel the onion. Okay, so I'm going to show you the trick to cutting the onions. And this goes for any dish, because when you're cooking, what you want to do is you want to get everything nice and symmetrical. You don't want to chop it randomly, you just want to make sure that when you're cutting and you're dicing the onion, everything's the same length, okay? Because that means that when everything's cooking, it's going to cook at the same time. So there's going to be a nice uniformity to it. The chilies, I'm going to go with a few extra. This is about 4 chilies because those 2 are tiny. But the thing is, do you with the chili. 1 is enough, sometimes none is good. I like the little chili kick. Sometimes if you put too much it can ruin the dish, so know your limits. And this goes back into this, okay? So let me show you a trick with the tomatoes. I'm going to show you how to make a tomato puree from scratch. And in less than 2 minutes, maybe less than 1. All you need for this is a grater. You set your tomatoes on the side and look how fast this is going to turn into puree. Now the great thing is you're just left with the skin, and here you got all the flesh, and that's exactly how you want your puree to look like. Just look at that. That is 100% tomato. Nothing fancy. We're gonna go for small sizes. The smaller you cut your potato, the quicker it will cook. Now always keep that in mind when you're making potatoes. Now look how small I'm cutting these. These are gonna take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to cook, depending on how watery your curry is. So let it heat up for about a good minute on a high heat, then you bring the heat down. We're gonna add in our ingredients. A teaspoon of mustard seeds and a few curry leaves. Once you start hearing the mustard seeds pop, so the onions have been cooking away for about 3 minutes now, 3-4 minutes, and you can see them turning that nice color. They're beginning to sweat, they're changing color, getting a little bit browner, and this is when we're gonna add in our garlic, ginger, and chilies. I'm gonna cook that for about a minute. So this is looking like the right time to add in some cumin. Now the reason we're adding in some cumin now is that we can cook it off and release some of the spice. It's really gonna help develop the flavor of the cumin. And that's only gonna take 30 seconds to a minute. This is the perfect time to add in your grated tomato. We're gonna season it, we're gonna add some salt and the rest of our spices. So I'm just gonna start off by going in with a little bit of salt. What the salt does is it really does release the flavor of that tomato. So that's been a good minute that's been cooking away. And it's time to add in the rest of our spices. So we're gonna start with a nice heaped teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of ground coriander, and a teaspoon of turmeric. That mix. And we're just gonna let the spices infuse for a couple of minutes now. Time to add the meat. And now it's up to you. It's up to you to cook this for as long as you want. If you're in a hurry, you could cook it for 30 minutes and it would be quite tasty. But we still do have to add some more ingredients. So I would say if you're making this curry, give yourself a little window of time. In an hour you can be done, but the longer you cook this, the more tender the meat will be. Once you've brought it up to a simmer, pop the lid on and let it simmer away for about 15 minutes to an hour. Okay, so this has been boiling away for about half an hour, and now it's time to add in the potatoes. And they're gonna take about 5 to 10 minutes to cook off. So it's been 5 minutes now. What I'm gonna do is add a little bit of yogurt. 3 tablespoons. Yogurt's a good addition to curries. It just makes it nice and mild, softens all the spices. But if you're lactose intolerant, just look for coconut milk, or you can just leave it out, it's up to you. Cook that off for another couple of minutes. Now it's time to add in the spinach. Straight out the tin. So that's about 400 grams of chopped spinach. So give that a good mix, and we're gonna let that cook off for another 3 to 4 minutes. So give it a stir every once in a while, and it's also a good idea to get your rice on the go while you're cooking your curry. That way everything is done at the same time. Okay, so that's been cooking away for 5 minutes. What I'm gonna do now is turn the heat off and garnish it with the last of the 2 ingredients. Add 1 heaped teaspoon of garam masala and a little bunch of freshly chopped coriander. Mix that in nicely. And that's your curry done. Honestly, you can't get easier than that. There you have it. It was that simple. One of the easiest meat and spinach curries you'll ever make. So let's just quickly give it a taste. That's what I'm talking about. Those flavors in there. Honestly, give this curry a go. It's really simple. Doesn't take too long. And it's really tasty, and you might impress a couple of your mates. So if you like this recipe and you want to see more of them, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.